Hey everyone, I wanted to just take a minute and talk here for a moment. Something that I've been talking with a lot of leaders about as we come into the end of the year and Q4, looking into 2025 is, as most leaders say, the dreaded annual performance review. A lot of people call them many different things, but I think it's really important, specifically from an HR perspective, to make sure that you're spending time with your employees in a very intentional way, getting their feedback in an annual performance review, starting with them filling out some information, and then managers spending a little bit of time responding back to that and then having a healthy discussion. Not every time do I see them connected to merit increases or bonuses or anything like that. So it's really about timing and discussion and expectations around them. Annual performance reviews are really important, again, from an HR perspective. The most important piece is, well, two of them. One is having the conversation. The second one is the documentation that goes with it. When it was signed, when the conversation happened, what do we agree to? Those are important from an HR because I find that many times leaders come to me and say, can we let this person go? This person's doing great. What documentation do we have to back this up to give them a merit increase or to do this or that? I usually start with, what documentation have you secured or procured or put together for us in HR? How can I guide and lead and help in that? So the other piece that I'm hearing a lot about is consistent, ongoing feedback of employees. Of course, generationally, this is really important right now. Everyone wants feedback. But what I found is many people can shut down sometimes during feedback. So making sure that you understand who you're talking to, make sure that you're having at least once a month, like 30 minutes, sit down, have a conversation outside of day-to-day tasks that they're responsible for. What are growth opportunities they have with your organization? What are things they need from you? Being very intentional about those things and making sure that they get documented. Again, because people can shut down in those conversations, it's really important that documentation takes place. I encourage all my managers, when you're done having the conversation, even if it's at the end of the day, spend 5 minutes at your desk typing up an email saying, here's the things we talked about today. It can just be a quick bulleted list. It can also be, here's the things we discussed that you were going to take care of for me, right? Like moving forward, here's the due date on something. Here's something we talked about you need to continue to work on. And let's schedule a time to do that. And the conversation can be, I would like you to find a time to put that on my calendar for us to have a follow-up conversation. So while you're asking them to do these things, we're also documenting. Worst case scenario, please document and send yourself an email with the information that was discussed. If you're sending it to yourself and putting it in that employee's file, it allows us in HR to come back around and say, do you have any documentation that we can use? And there are times and situations that we're able to utilize that then, because it is time stamped based on that day and what was talked about. So those are a few ideas that I have. Feedback can come in many forms or fashions. There's a lot of give and take when it comes to feedback. I think a lot of things around managers understanding that they need to receive feedback as well. And sometimes that can be hard. So there are many different pieces to feedback. I just really wanted to touch today on the annual performance review and kind of having ongoing monthly touch points with your employees and just how important it is, not only for you as a leader, but also for us in HR and what we can help do in that way. So I hope you all have a great day and best of luck with documenting and continuing to have conversations with your team members.